We want you guys to just be you.
Did we have any idea that it would really turn into this, or was it just the creative process?
I think it was the creative process, and I think it was more that there was genuine thought that it would not get off the ground, that it would not succeed. There was like genuine worry, like this really could not work.
I think what made it work was, when we wanted to create something different, I think we pulled that inspiration from talking with families and talking with parents and kids and what's wrong and what doesn't work right and why do we all do it this way in the industry.
When nobody likes it that way,
So how do we create something that people can look forward to, that they're excited about? How do we build that out? And we just took it one step at a time and just keep trying to add and evolve it and get better and get bigger.
To me personally, I think the reimagined means like a challenge. I think that we like the challenge of spitting off a wacky idea and kind of getting laughed at over it and then figuring out a way to make that work.
What about for you, Ryan?
For me, reimagined is being able to create in a new capacity. So as we're, facing different problems, different issues that we see, things that aren't working, and how can we think outside of the box and really take a second and go, there's nothing that's off limits. If we could do anything, how would we do it? And then finding creative solutions to make it happen, to solve the problems. I think it means a lot, and I think that clearly they mean a lot to us as well. The community support that we've received since the day that we've opened has been incredible, and we every year throw out these crazy ideas and people take a leap of faith with us. Mm-hmm. They go with us, and that's our...
They go with the flow, and they're like, well,
and they
if
trust
anybody
us.
can do it, you'll do it,
And I think that support, you have to have it, and that's our dancers, our faculty, our parents, and our surrounding businesses that come out and support us. The city of Sammamish, who is always willing to, do something for the first time with us. It's been incredible, and without all of these partnerships and support, Glass House wouldn't be Glass House.
I think so. Like with the ball, a dance recital is so exciting for a child, and it should be. And I think secretly, family members and friends would smile. Of course, you want to see that dancer dance, but at the end of the day, it was a drag because it was long and you were restricted and you're confined and you're all these things. And this event is reimagined in the concept of its focus is inclusion and community, and making dance specifically relatable and accessible to everyone under the sun. Oh, no way. No, in fact, the very first one, do you remember arguing? He was like, we have to do it, and I was like, no, we can't, it's too risky. We can't. And then if we don't do it this first year, we'll never ever start the journey to getting it there. And so now looking back at the first year, we're almost like, oh my gosh, that was so embarrassing.
Why did you have to do it?
We had to do it.
Thank you, Hannah.
Because it's what is true to us. And I think, we're not pushing the boundaries just necessarily for the sake of pushing boundaries, but because there's a need, we can see it, we can provide our families with a solution, And it's just a bonus that I think the challenge
I think
feeds our soul.
I think we're adrenaline junkies to challenging, trying to overcome or create things that seem impossible or too monstrous of a feat to figure out.
That's true. Everybody always tells us there's no way we can do something, and then we'll sit down at the end of the night and be like, okay, so how are we going to do this?
And you do it.
And we
And
do
we do
it.
it somehow.
Yeah. You have to expose people to the arts. To ask them to go seek it out for themselves, I think is unlikely unless they have identified some sort of love or passion or have a reason, like a family member or friend. And so unless they're seeking it out, which is not very likely, then the arts just get lost. But if we can sort of force feed it, it's free. Why wouldn't you come? There's beer, there's wine, there's food, and there's all these things to do outside of seeing dance. Then you expose them, and they might figure out that they love it, and they never would have known that. Then that might inspire them to go seek out the arts. Maybe they'll go enroll in an art class, or they'll buy the tickets to the Nutcracker because they're interested now because they've been exposed sort of unknowingly without having to make the decision to be in a weird sort of way.
And I think, exposure to the arts is a really great way to bring the community together. Whether you are a fan of a certain type of art or not, you can still appreciate it as a human. And so
it's the same language,
despite all of our differences, it's
right.
an opportunity to all come together.
And value differences.
Mm-hmm.
This community is so diverse. We joke that we think we have a family from everywhere around the world. Like, it is such a diverse community.
Which makes it really an exciting place to be.
Yes, it does. Because yes, we can all come together and just be on the same page for the same reason, appreciating the same things. And
well, and what's really beautiful too is we have a lot of students, younger dancers, families have just moved here, and some of them are still trying to get a grasp on English, and yet they're in class and they're succeeding because dance is a universal language.
Yeah, we have a lot of kids who don't even speak English, which is...
And it's incredible, and they're flourishing.
They're learning English through being in a dance class, being with friends that speak English and a teacher that speaks English, but then can also give visual demonstration, and they can start associating what they're hearing with what they're seeing, and literally learning English in their 3 to 4 year old ballet class, which is pretty
awesome.
Cool too. I was just joking with somebody during setup last night about how I asked Ryan, like, what are we gonna do when we can no longer fit into a single day? Like, genuinely, what are we gonna do when we can't fit into a single day? Because we're getting there. And he goes, well, we'll just do a second stage. So who knows? Who knows where it's gonna go?
That's part of the fun of it is...
We'll figure it out though, when we get there.
It's the creative process. You never can really fully picture the end result, but that's what's beautiful about art is you change and you adjust and you keep creating and what makes sense, and then you end up with this really cool, unique thing at the end of the process. We never give away our secrets that we're thinking about doing until we're ready to
to really like take action and just guarantee that it's going to happen. But
every time
we're always thinking a few years down the road.
Exactly.
Lately, we started thinking about 5-6 years down the road.
We're always trying to incrementally invest each year in equipment, in staffing, in this year new ballet classes will have a live pianist in every class. So we're always taking small steps to a larger goal to continue to grow and to change.
So much of that is reinvestment. We're constantly reinvesting. And I think that's kind of this, like, it's never good enough. There's always There's always room for it to grow.
Yeah,
Or to be
whether-
bigger, better, more valued.
or more efficient? Are we communicating with our parents better? Is it streamlined? Can they get the information? Are we available?
Yeah.
Just every element, what's the workflow for everybody that's involved in our business, and how can we make that excellent for our kids, our parents, our staff members? For me, it's home.
Did you call that he was going to say that? So predictable.
I think really, one thing that I'm really blessed with is there's not a single day that I ever go into the studio and I feel like I'm going to work. I'm seeing friends, I'm seeing whether that's parents or kids or faculty members. Nothing that we do ever feels like work. It feels like I'm just in that safe place. And I think that we've been lucky enough to try to create a culture and a community at the studio with the help of our families and our dancers and our faculty that really is like home.
So for me, I would probably say it was something along the lines of like non-judging. Like it's a place that is acceptance of all. You know what, I'm gonna take that back. Maybe forgiveness is a better word, you know? Inclusion. Accepting the good and the bad, and forgiving for imperfections, which we all are, and it's a good place. It's a place for me where you could just be a human, I think, you know? And I hope
Creative human.
a creative human, yeah. And I hope families can kind of feel like that too. Yes.
Satisfied, proud, but not ever done.
Yes, satisfied, proud, relieved, but already going. How do we
I'd be lying
take
if
this
last
up next? You know,
last
the next
night, the day before the event, I wasn't already thinking about
Next
what we're
year.
going to do next year.
Yeah,
How-
the event hasn't even happened, and we're already like, okay, this is what needs to happen for next year. I think we're always looking for opportunity to improve. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Both your events and your dancers. and
Both,
your staff.
everything.
Everything.
That like just constant mindset of there's always room to grow, and you're never done. The work is never, ever, ever done. Even
Well, art is never done, right?
art
You
is
just-
never done.
You just choose to stop working
You
on it.
just choose to stop working on it.
For us as owners and as directors is to be able to reimagine the process and keep trying to create and build and do things differently.
Where did you start for your
Hold on. You like how he just turned it on? Like, what personality is that? Hi. Wait, time out. Where am I? Am I looking
This
at
one.
the red dot or down there? Ready? Hello.
I will look at you.
Okay, hold on. Can we try it one more time? You say, and we own.
Okay, so Larisa, Ryan, game time.
Game time. Hold on. How about howdy? No. Okay. Hello. Stop.
Sorry.
No, I am Larisa,
And I'm Ryan, and we own.
and I'll say, okay, I'm gonna turn it on now.
dance training reimagined?
And we own Glass House Dance.